The Vault 7 WikiLeaks might have your head spinning, and for good reason. It included more than 8,000 documents. As we compute this, a simple explanation and what you need to know about your privacy. From Schrock Innovations, Thor, Schrock, a lot of times we talk about the services and the things that you do, but I feel like this is where public service comes into play with a topic like this, because last week I was reading all this stuff online and I was trying to watch news coverage, and I still didn't really get it. It was just a lot of chatter, it felt like.
It took a day for it to soak in for me.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here? And, unlike some of the other WikiLeaks things in the past, a lot of the other ones have been ancient history things, like, 20 years ago or 5 years ago this happened. This stuff was relating things that happened in 2016. So, I mean, that's the year that just ended.
So what is it? Since I don't really get it, and I tried to read up on this stuff. For our viewers who are sort of like me, what is this exactly, this Vault 7?
So when WikiLeaks has a big treasure trove of documents to release, they call them vaults. And so this was Vault 7. So they released this big trove of documents, which was all about all of the digital tools that the Central Intelligence Agency has to collect intelligence against adversaries. So what was released? They said, okay, there are exploits that the CIA had for Android phones that would allow them to activate microphones, cameras, things. Same thing with the iPhone. We can activate your camera and your microphone without giving any outward indication that your camera or microphone was getting, was on. We always joke, when your phone gets warm in your pocket for no apparent reason, and it feels really hot, and you're like, dang, and you take it out and your battery's like half gone. That's the NSA,
Stop it.
Yeah,
it is not. That's not true.
Yeah. Don't believe it. This is a disinformation campaign.
I hope.
So no, so that was one thing. The other one that really came out was, there's a lot of correlation between spying and Big Brother, right? Well, if you've ever read 1984, the big screens on the wall, and you never know if the screen is watching you or not, kind of thing. Well, one of the things that the CIA was able to co-op were the microphones and cameras in Samsung televisions.
Wow.
And so literally it was the personification of Big Brother. They can turn your TV on and watch you in the room.
But what you were saying is all of this is true? It's been validated that this was in fact happening, or they were just discussing their ability or sort of toying with the idea of it, and that's what was leaked?
Well, the way vulnerabilities work is you don't know that they work until you try them. You need a proof of concept, and then once you have them, I mean, you would be foolhardy. Here's the thing. A lot of people get up in arms about this because, the CIA's job is to collect intelligence on our adversaries. That's their job.
But on U.S. citizens, that's the question, right?
Right. So did they do it to U.S. citizens? Nobody knows that. But at this point, it's like you want to argue. People are arguing, well, this is horrible that the CIA had all these exploits, and the CIA didn't make these. They went out and bought them from shady guys with beards out in alleys, things like that. they were buying them up from people in corduroy pants, but. But the bottom line.
Mike, you notice, stepped out for a minute, and with the beard and the corduroy pants, Thor was really trying to work in some references.
Give him a hard time.
We don't mean to besmirch everybody with beards and corduroy pants.
Well, they don't all work for the CIA,
right.
but just some of them. And so the ones that disappear mysteriously.
Right.
So no, basically, then all these vulnerabilities get collected by the CIA, and the CIA doesn't come out and be like, public service announcement, iPhone, you need to unlock this. So the bottom line here is, did the CIA spy on U.S. citizens?
And we don't know.
We don't know. But what we do know is that they were doing their job to collect all these vulnerabilities, as is every other intelligence agency on the planet, to spy on adversaries. Now the problem here is WikiLeaks dumped all the tools. They said this is everything the CIA has in Vault 7. Now the CIA, from what I've read, knew that this was coming, and a lot of these vulnerabilities, the shelf life on them is about 2 weeks to 5 weeks. So they're 6 months old. That's ancient history in vulnerabilities. That's why it's so important to install your patches, like with Secure Updater, is to keep that computer up to date so that you don't get hit by this stuff. But most of these vulnerabilities have been patched. Most of them are already gone, and the ones that are still around, they're getting patched very quickly.
So in terms of my privacy today, what's my takeaway from Vault 7?
Your takeaway from Vault 7 is, number one, cameras and microphones are designed to listen and watch. That's what they do.
Even though my phone, in theory, it's on, but I'm not using it.
Even when your phone is off, it could be on. That was the lesson from the CIA leak. They can give your phone a
powered off.
They can give your phone and your Samsung TV a false off state, so it looks like it's off and it acts like it's off, but it's really on. So yeah, that's why back in the days you could always tell a mobster from a legit person because they would always have Android devices, because the Android devices are the ones you could take the batteries out of. You can't do that to your iPhone.
So you're saying cameras and microphones are on. They're meant to listen and watch.
Yeah, they're meant to listen and watch.
What are the other takeaways?
The other I mean, basic privacy. Have your antivirus software installed, and don't use a bunch of free garbage that you get from your internet service provider or off the internet.
But you think the CIA still can't get around some of the better stuff?
They can, but here's the thing. Now, what you have to realize is there are vulnerabilities, and the CIA is utilizing vulnerabilities. As vulnerabilities are discovered or utilized, they're burnt up. It's kind of like having a weapon that you can use a few times, and then once everyone knows about it, it doesn't work anymore.
It evaporates.
So they hold off on using it until it's valuable. Then they use it, and once it's been used and once it's been exposed, it gets patched. And those patches are delivered by Secure Updater. Those vulnerabilities are closed by your antivirus software. So you could try to do it yourself, I suppose, but no, you may as well get all those things done for you automatically. Keep that stuff up to date. Basic online practices. Don't click on stupid links. You didn't win the Walmart gift card.
But we might think that something's a legitimate link, or you get an email from some agency or something that you believe is to be true. It looks authentic.
Yeah, you can get spoofed. You can get some things where your mom sends you an email. You have to take a look at this. This is amazing, and it's from my mom. So you click it. Well, it's from your mom, but it's not from your mom. It says it's from your mom, but it was really from this this hacker guy. One of the funniest things is how long have we been saying that all these attacks appear to come out of Eastern Europe, the Ukraine, Russia, all these scams and the online attacks and everything.
Nigeria.
One of the biggest things that came out in the Vault 7 was that the CIA has tools that they can actually put Russian fingerprints on hack jobs that they've done. So did the Russians really hack the election, Mary?
I don't know that you want me to be the one to answer that, as I have exactly zero knowledge on the subject. My thing is that I am more concerned about nefarious people around the world than I am our own intelligence agencies. So when you talk about Secure Updater, I feel like the value is greater than Vault 7, sort of what we're talking about here today, because it's the stuff that I don't even trust when the pop-ups tell me to update something. I still don't even trust that.
Yeah, and the thing is, we live in a very civilized world, where you can trust that for the most part, there's bad guys, but the bad guys aren't even really that bad of guys, The international world is a far different ballgame, and I feel really comfortable actually having some really, really scrappy dogs in the yard on our side. Now granted, you don't want to get bit by your own scrappy dog. That's, I think, what everyone's kind of worried about. But on the other hand, the idea that these vulnerabilities are somehow unpatchable or unresolvable, they'll all be patched and these tools are all gone, and it's not a huge loss to the CIA because they would have been gone in a few weeks anyway.
Secure Updater, that's the website we had on the screen just a second ago. If you're curious about that and how it works, we'll send you there. Otherwise, SchrockInnovations.com we showed you the 3 locations in our area.
You know where we're at. Just come.
You know where to find this guy. And I saw you flipping pancakes for your employees last week. That was really cool.
It was National Pancake Day.
But that was so cool that you were behind and flipping and making breakfast for everybody. Really nice.
Well, I'm known for my pancakes. And everybody laughed and didn't believe it, but now they're all believers.
Now they're believers. Thank you, Thor. Good to see you. Well, today is no ordinary Monday. It is the day after Selection Sunday, which